Hello students, this is Professor Faiz Raut from Jain College of Engineering, Department of MBA. I'm in revision module 6. Okay, in this module we have studied what is corporate restructuring, its meaning, significance, forms of restructuring, in which there were different forms like joint ventures, sell-off, spin-off, divestitures, equity carve-out, leverage buyout, management buyouts and master limited partnership. And also about limited liability partnership in India and buyback of shares. Okay, firstly we'll understand what is corporate restructuring. Okay, changes in the ownership, business mix, asset mix, alliance with a view to enhance the shareholders' value. Mergers, acquisition, leverage buyout, buyback of shares, spin-off, sell-off, etc. Business restructuring involves the reorganization of business units or divisions. Asset restructuring involves the acquisition or sale of assets and their ownership structure. So basically, it is giving an idea that any change in the business, whether you are buying a unit, you are selling a unit, you are making a unit into a different company, you are buying another company, merging it with your company, you are acquiring it, you are taking over another company, you are you are reorganizing your different business unit, you are doing something with assets, restructuring it, doing divestitures, anything. So any change in the structure of a company will be become a part of corporate restructuring. Okay, next is what is the purpose of corporate restructuring? In order to limit the competition, reduce the number of competition in the market, utilize the underutilized market power. If any segment of the market is underutilized, the consumers are not met with some of the needs, you can do a corporate restructuring, make a new company or make a new division for that a specific need of the consumer, and you can gain the market power. Okay, next is overcome the problem of slow growth and profitability in one's industry. If the industry is growing slow or there is less profitability, then in that case corporate restructuring can be done to achieve diversification. Okay, to enter into new sector, into new industry, into new line of business. Okay, to gain economies of scale, we can do a horizontal merger wherein we can one company can acquire another company which is in the same field, which is in the same industry, it is manufacturing the same kind of products which this company is manufacturing. So now this company along with the another company, they can produce more, so they'll have economies of scale, in the terms of finance, in the terms of marketing, in the terms of manpower, or in the terms of operations, or in the terms of production. Okay, next is empire building to a vast economic powers of the company. Okay, one company can go into too much diversification and they can expand their environment in such a way. For example, Samsung is not just manufacturing electronics, it is into shipbuilding, it is into constructions, it is into many more businesses. Okay, okay. Next is forms of corporate restructuring. There are variety of forms given in a syllabus. It goes like joint ventures, divestitures, corporate sell-off, corporate spin-off, equity carve-out, leverage buyout, management buyout, master limited partnership, and employee stock ownership plans or ESOP. Okay, we'll do one by one, not in detail, but just I'll go through these. If you want in detail, I have made a module 6 entire lecture of maybe somewhere around 1 hour lecture is there on module 6. You can refer that, you will get to know the entire details of all these forms of corporate restructuring. Okay, I'll just go through what is joint venture. Joint venture is a business enterprise undertaken by two or more persons or organization to share expense and profit of a particular business project. Okay, in this case two companies are coming together, they are not merging, none of the companies been taking over another company, they are just coming for a specific venture, for a specific kind of business, for a specific project. Okay, the best joint venture from maybe it's a 35 years joint venture of very famous was Hero Honda, okay, and Maruti Suzuki. Hero Honda is now been split up. Hero is manufacturing its and Honda is manufacturing its own cars. Okay, they were into joint venture from 90s. Okay, another best example is Maruti Suzuki. It is a joint venture. Maruti is a company from India and Suzuki is a company from Japan. So they are still into joint ventures. Okay, only for a specific purpose, that is for manufacturing of cars, and only for a specific region, that is India. If you go outside India, you will find cars, uh, for example Swift you will find, but it will be owned by only Suzuki. Maruti name will not be there anywhere on that car. Okay, so there are types of joint venture in that. Equity joint venture, in this a separate legal entity will be formed. Okay, separate company will be formed by third company, which will be a joint venture kind of a company, just like Maruti Suzuki. Okay, and non-equity joint ventures, it will be kind of a franchisee or a brand use agreement. Okay, or a rental contract or one time contract. Okay, that is also a joint venture. So a franchisee is also called as a joint venture. A McDonald's franchisee, a Domino's franchisee, it's also a joint venture. Okay, next is there are 4 types of joint venture. Okay, which is not there in the notes. I have explained this. Project based joint venture, in which the joint venture is done with a motive of completing specific task. For example, a specific building. There is a construction of a tower of maybe 80 floors. Okay, in for that construction of the towers, a few companies will come together to manufacture that. Okay, only and their joint venture will last up till the entire tower is built, and you can use it. Okay, it is also in the turnkey projects. Then second is a vertical joint venture, wherein it takes place between buyers and suppliers. Okay, Tata Motors and a Tata car dealer can be a vertical joint venture. Horizontal joint venture, it takes place in the companies having same line of business. Okay, both are manufacturing same thing. Functional based joint venture, it is a joint venture in it is done for the motive of getting mutual benefit. Okay, because of synergy. One company can be good in marketing, another company can be good in operations. So this both the companies will come together for a specific venture. So one company is good in marketing, so that is its functional benefit. Another company is good in operation, that is its functional benefit. So to utilize their each other's functional benefit, these companies have joined hands and made a joint venture. Okay, what are the reasons? Internal reasons are like spreading of costs, improving financial resources, economics and of scale, and competitive goals, to reduce the competition. Okay, and some defensive response when a takeover is maybe happening. Okay, maybe a raider may be coming to take over a company, so in that case also joint venture can happen. Okay, and benefits of joint venture are partners can save money, reduce the risk. Smaller companies get a chance to work with larger companies. Okay, there is a technological enhancement through research and development also happens. Okay, there was a joint venture between Tata and Mercedes a long time ago, when Mercedes taught Tata how to manufacture trucks. So now we find good quality trucks manufactured by Tata, which was a technological know-how given by the Mercedes to the Tata. Okay, next is about divestitures or demerger. Well, demerger is just an opposite of merger. In merger, 2 or more companies are coming together to form a new company. In demerger, one company is being splitting up to form different companies. Okay, in this, a sale of a segment of the company to a third party can be done, and the value will be enhanced by demerging. Okay, and this is the act of splitting off a part of a existing company into a new company which operates completely separately from original company. Okay, what are the motives? In order to raise capital. Okay, in order to pay off the debts, the divestiture can be done. To curtailment of losses. Okay, if one segment of the company is not performing good, that segment can be sold off, they can, or it can be made into a separate company, so the losses from that segment can be reduced, and which is hampering the overall losses of the company. Okay, next is strategic realignment. If one company is having a product in a line which doesn't suit that name of the company, then they can sell off that division to another company. The next is efficiency gain. Efficiency gain is in which uh, if you are venturing, if you are making a company separate, okay, and you are growing that company, you want to grow that separate company. Okay, then in that case you can do divestiture. Then inability to adopt new technology. You can do a divestiture, then eventually you will go out of the business, eventually you will go out of the market. Okay, which happened with Nokia. It had to divest its business because it was not at all there in the market. Best example of a failure of a company which is very reluctant to adopt to new technology. Another example in my view is a Kodak, which was a leader in a camera phone. It was a leader in cameras. Now the what do you say? The leader of camera is somewhere Nikon and Canon. Okay. Next is underperformance of labor, including managers. Okay, if laborers are not performing, the company is not doing good, we'll do a divestiture. Then forms of corporate divestitures is first is corporate sell off. Corporate sell off means you will sell off a part of a division to another company. Corporate spin off is the second one. Spin off is you will take a division of the company and make it into a separate company. And third is equity carve out. Equity carve out is you cannot sell the entire division to another company, but you will sell a part of that division to another company. Okay, it is an what do you say, a step by step equity carve out leads to sell off. Okay, slowly you will go on selling part of that division to another company, and finally the entire division will go, you will sell it to another company. That is equity carve out. It is actually a first step for sell off. Next is leverage buyout. Leverage buyout is in this acquisition of one company by another, typically with borrowed funds. Okay, one acquirer company is coming to acquire a target company. That acquirer company will take loan from the bank in order to acquire that target company. Okay, so that buyout or that acquisition is called as a leverage buyout. Okay, and then next is about LBO, types of leverage buyout. It can be a management buyout, wherein the internal management buyout means the existing managers, the internal managers of the company will buy the company from the owners of that company. Second is management buy-in. Management buy-in means the management team outside of that company, management team of other company is coming to buy this company. Okay, then it is a management buy-in. Okay, it's a kind of a opposite. Going private, it is converting a company whose stock is publicly traded into a private company. So a public company is delisting its share from the stock market and becoming private. So it is called as a going private. Next is master limited partnership. Well, it is a limited partnership that is publicly traded on the stock exchange. So it is not a company as a whole, but it is not a partnership also. So it is somewhere between company and a partnership. So it is called as a master limited partnership. So it combines the tax benefits of a limited partnership and liquidity is which the benefit gets for the publicly traded securities. So it gets the benefit from both, from what the partnership firm has and what the liquidity benefits listed company has. So there are two kinds, classes of partners: limited partners who purchase shares in the master limited partnership, and general partners who are responsible for managing day-to-day operations. Okay, so limited partners will only put their money into the partnership firm, into the master limited partnership firm, and another partners who will take care of the entire day-to-day operations, entire business of the master limited partnership firm. Okay, next is a limited partnership, limited liability partnership. It's an alternative for a corporate business firm that gives the benefits of limited liability of a company and flexibility of a partnership. Okay, it is also a similar kind of thing, limited liability partnership. Okay, in India it is LLP, and many of the MNCs have a limited liability partnership with some Indian entity in order to perform their business. Okay, for example, Gallagher, many of you have been placed. Gallagher is also a limited liability partnership, okay, in India. Then next is a buyback of shares or share repurchase. Okay, this is very frequently you will hear in the news, and very frequently it will happen in the stock market. Buyback of shares. This is the repurchase of the outstanding shares. Repurchase. Who repurchases these shares? The company itself, in order to reduce the number of shares in the market. and there are lots and lots of reasons why company doesn't want its share to be why the company doesn't want its share to be distributed in the market. Okay, it can be in order to raise the buying pressure in the market, in order to raise the what do you say, capital appreciation in the market, or if that dividend is more every year, then that dividend can be reduced by the company by purchasing the shares, and that all that dividend can be used by the company itself. The profit will not be shared among many of the shareholders if they buy the shares from the market itself, or many other reasons are there. Okay, okay, we'll go to objectives of buyback. To increase the promoters holding, okay, to increase earnings per share, to rationalize the capital structure, to support share value. Okay, if share value is going down, we'll buy the shares, so the buying pressure in the market will increase, and because of that the share price of that company will also increase. And to thwart the takeover bid, okay, to avoid the takeover, to reduce the shareholding, outstanding share holding in the market, and to pay the surplus cash not required by the business. Okay, if company is having too much cash with them and they don't want to invest or don't want to utilize that cash, they can use that cash to buy back their shares and increase their ownership in the firm. Okay, those owners. Then finally, the best strategy to maintain the share price in a bear run. Okay, what is a bear run? When the price of stock is continuously falling, you as in a company will go into the market, buy its own shares, so that there is some what do you say, bullish kind of thought will come for the retail investors. Okay, that the share price of that company is not falling that much now. Okay, it is on the rise. So during global meltdown, or during situation in which the entire economy is going down, then the company can come in and buy its shares, so that when the economy is going down, when the share price is going down, the share price of the company is stable, or it is going up when the share buyback is happening. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, this is the end of revision of 6th module. Okay, thank you for listening.